Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Christopher with Plan Your Adventures, and in today's video, I am so excited to finally kickstart a brand new series here on this YouTube channel, where we are going to talk all about planning your most magical Walt Disney World vacation. Throughout the course of all of these videos, they're all going to be in the same playlist that will be linked for you, so it's a really good bingeable series. It's going to help you break down a lot of the different areas and things that you need to think about as you are planning a Walt Disney World vacation. We're going to go from the brainstorming and research phase, so maybe you're just in the spot where you're thinking about, oh, I need to do a Walt Disney World trip. I'm interested in learning more. Maybe you're past that and you're already thinking about what dining reservations you want to make, or lightning lane tips and strategies. Or maybe you're in the very final stages looking for some packing tips and last minute tips and tricks before you leave for your trip. Depending on where you are in the planning phase, you can kind of pick and choose where you start your adventure in this YouTube series. But I'm really excited to break it down from that idea all the way down to actually stepping foot in the Magic Kingdom. This is a series I've been thinking about doing for a while now, and I think it's going to be great and helpful for a lot of my clients that want a little bit more hands-on experience or research. And I'm going to do all of the research for you and basically spoon-feed it in this video series. So if you are planning a trip to Walt Disney World, this is the only series that you need to help make it the most magical for you. So I hope you're excited. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to see all of the videos coming. I have like 14 planned right now, so we'll see what we end up at. But in today's video, we are kind of getting the party started. We're going to look at the big picture, talk about the overview of what videos will be covered in this series, and also look at the timeline. If you have no idea, like, when do you make dining reservations? When should you even start thinking about what resorts or tickets or add-ons to your package? All of those things we're going to talk about from a little bit of a bigger picture in this video. In future videos, we'll dive into a lot of these topics in much more detail. So without further ado, let's just dive in. So for the terms of this series, a lot of it is going to be with the mindset of somebody that's planning a trip for multiple months or even up to a year or so in advance. However, I don't want to discourage you if you're thinking of doing a last-minute trip, because it's absolutely possible. I've planned trips down like the week before for some of my clients. So if you're thinking of going in the next month or two, you can still definitely use all of these tips. It's just going to be a tighter time frame, of course. I also want to mention that I am a Disney travel agent. It doesn't cost you a penny to book your trip with me. I book it directly with Disney and can provide a ton of experience and resources to really tailor the planning for you and your family. Everybody's trip is different. In this video series, we're just talking about kind of the overview and the generalization, right? The popular restaurants, the best tips. But if you want things geared towards you, send me an email, click the link down below. I'd love to help plan your magical vacation. Okay, so in terms of timeline, let's say you're like 6 months all the way up to 18 months out from potentially thinking about a Disney World vacation. Or maybe you don't even have dates picked yet. You're just thinking, oh, my friend went and had a good time, and now I'm interested in maybe going and researching if this could be something for my family. So there's a lot of things to consider when you try to nail down your dates, right? I think the first thing is thinking about your personal schedule. Would you rather go when the kids are on school break? Or is there a month where you can't go because of your job or your husband's job? Thinking about those things, family commitments, soccer, things like that. There's also a lot to consider just with Disney as a whole. Thinking about the weather, thinking about maybe when there'll be low crowds versus high crowds. I like to look at seasonal events if you're maybe really into Christmas or Halloween, or if you're really into Broadway and the arts, then maybe you would want to come during Festival of the Arts at Epcot. So lots of things to consider, and we're going to do an entire video just diving into kind of helping you nail down your dates as well as your budget. That may not seem like something that goes together, but it absolutely does, because depending on what your budget is, that may limit your dates. For example, If you have a little bit of a smaller budget, we maybe are not going to want to look at peak times. So things like holidays or, the really busy times here at Walt Disney World, because those are more expensive. So we can kind of help tailor your trip and look at when the most affordable dates are if you have a tighter budget. So there's going to be, that's kind of the next video that you can expect in this series. We're going to dive into nailing down your dates, looking at pros and cons, and then really diving in as well to an overall budget of how we can kind of start to break things down. If I glance at the side, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I don't have all 14 videos memorized quite yet. Okay, so let's say we nail down our resort, or we nail down our dates and kind of a little bit of the budget, right? At least getting the ball rolling there. The next big thing that we'll need in order to book your vacation at the beginning is what resort you're interested in. 99.9% of my clients stay on site at a Walt Disney World resort. It just is the most convenience in terms of the perks provided, free transportation, free parking. There's a lot of perks that just make it worth it. And there's so many Disney resorts that really we can find something for any budget. If you have a tighter budget and want to look at the value options, hey, those have great theming. Some of the best theming across Disney property. So you're not giving up that theming if you have a tighter budget. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more on the upscale end, having more amenities, there are deluxe, beautiful resorts right here on Disney property that still give you that Disney, service and love that we all have come to know. So we're going to do a whole video just on resorts and helping you nail it down. Like I said, though, if I'm your travel planner, you don't even have to do that research. You just tell me about what you want out of your trip, and I will give my personal recommendations for what hotels would match that for you. So that's really, to be honest, all that we need to book your trip. We need to nail down your dates, your budget, and your resort. At that point, we can book a trip for you, and the rest is like, we can add that on, we can talk about that later. It's not as big of a deal. So the next big thing, as we kind of go through all of the different stages of planning and therefore videos in this series, the next big thing is kind of narrowing down a little bit about your park tickets. How many days do you want to spend in the parks? Right? So we're going to have a whole video just kind of diving into the different Disney World parks. There are 4 normal theme parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. But there are also 2 water parks: Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, depending on the dates of your trip. 1 may be open, 2 may be open. But that's not all. There's also a ton of other things on Disney property in terms of mini golf courses, regular golf courses. Also, Disney Springs is a huge dining and entertainment district, and shopping, of course. You could spend a whole day there. You could spend multiple days resort hopping. So we got to kind of start thinking about that, right? How many days in the parks versus at some of those other amenities and things. And then building your package, right? So at first, we don't have to talk about these things. We can kind of break it down slowly for you. But are you interested in the Memory Maker? That is Disney's version of PhotoPass. So it's a photo package that you get instant downloads of all of the photos that these cast members take throughout the parks. I always recommend it. We get the best photos from these cast members, and they even do magic shots. So it could be you standing in front of the castle holding Tinkerbell, or holding on to magical Mickey balloons, or blowing confetti. It's all kind of really cool effects and things. We also could add on travel protection. There's a lot of add-ons that we can talk about. Would that make sense for your trip? One of the biggest add-ons, though, is there's 2. One is a park hopper. So thinking about, is it beneficial for you guys to be able to go to multiple parks per day? Or do you just want to go to one park each day and not worry about hopping? And then also the Disney dining plan. That is going to be a whole video just in itself, talking about the 2 different types, as of right now, dining plans that are available. And is it right for you? It could save you money, or it could not. It depends on what your situation is. right? Are you drinking alcoholic beverages with every meal? Would you order dessert? Would you order the most expensive entree, or are you somebody that maybe would eat like a pasta marinara moment? Um, a lot of my clients, though, even if it doesn't save them money, they do still like the dining plan because it allows them to prepay and kind of have that all-inclusive feeling when they're on vacation. They don't have to worry as much about paying once they're there because they know it's already budgeted and prepaid for. So we'll have a whole video just on that. Okay, we're getting closer to your trip at this point. We're getting closer to that like 90-day mark. That's really when we're going to start thinking about what are you doing every day, right? So some of that research we already did about the parks and a little bit about dining, we're going to start to really get into that. So thinking about where do you want to eat? Dining reservations. That's a whole video on its own. It'll be here. It'll be in the playlist. A whole video just on where you should eat and dining reservations. Those can be made 60 days before your trip begins. And a huge perk of working with a travel agent is that you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to book those dining reservations. I'll do it for you. I love it. I love it. No, I'm just kidding. I actually love it. It brings me such joy to get all of the dining reservations that my clients want. And that may seem overkill, but I promise you there are reservations that if I went on at 6:30 that morning, they'd be gone. Disney dining is no joke, okay? So we'll have a whole video just kind of breaking down some different dining options and also helping you plan your park strategy. This is another huge benefit to if you have me book your trip instead of booking it on your own. I can tailor a custom park strategy for you depending on what type of trip you want. So this is something I think is really important for any vacation you go on, is to really take a step back and think about what the objective of that trip is. Are you wanting to do the hustle bustle? Are you wanting to do all of the rides? You know, think about everybody that's coming on the trip with you and maybe even ask them, like, what are your priorities? What do you want out of this trip? Some kids are really into the entertainment and the characters and the fireworks. Other kids could care less and would rather take that opportunity to ride rides. Some people are really here for the relaxing vibes. You would think you can't get that at Disney, but you absolutely can. There are tropical hideaways, there's paradise vibes, really great pools and bars and adult-only lounges. If you're into that, whether it's an adult experience or relaxing vibes and kind of taking in summer vacation, then we would want to gear the park strategy to that. Do you have a toddler that we need to get back to your resort at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock for nap time? Do we want to make sure we get back to the resort by 7 or 8 for bedtime? All of these things will help really us work out your park strategy. So we're going to do a video kind of breaking down some of those things as well. But this is the time you want to start thinking about those things, right? At the 90-day mark, 60-day mark is when we're booking your dining. And then that 30-day mark, that's when final payment is due. So we really, at that point, want to kind of start having some plans solidified in case you want to tweak anything. 30 days before your trip is kind of the best time to do that or to make sure that's done. I am also going to have some videos just on some helpful information, such as transportation around Walt Disney World. That can be confusing for some people. It's a huge perk that you can get anywhere on Disney property. If you're staying at a resort, you can get anywhere else on Disney property for free. I'll kind of talk you through what those different options are in this video series, whether it's monorail, boat, bus, Skyliner, minivan. There's so many different things. So we'll break it down for you. And then once we get to the 7-day mark before your trip begins, that is when we're going to book your lightning lanes. This is Disney's version of a skip the line pass. It used to be called Fast Pass. If you're familiar with Universal, that is called Express Pass. At Disney World, it is called Lightning Lanes. There's multi-pass, there's single pass, there's lots of different options and things that we will talk about. Don't get too overwhelmed. I'll do a whole video, or I will have it in this playlist, just breaking down lightning lanes and what you guys should consider. I have some clients that don't do a single lightning lane and have the most magical trip. I have other clients that their priority is riding every ride, so they book all of the lightning lanes. So we'll break that down and I will help plan a strategy for kind of what lightning lanes you want to book, because you are able to pre-book some at that 7-day mark. So now we're really getting ready for the trip. So there will be videos on kind of that final push, that final prep as we get ready for your trip, packing, last minute things to remember and maybe things to buy before you leave. We'll have lots of videos to kind of help prepare as in those final moments. If you're like panicking, last couple days, will help ease your mind. And at the end of the day, you're in Orlando, Florida. You're not on a deserted island, so there's a Target and a Walmart and Amazon. Lots of options, so don't stress too much. As we get to the end of this video series, we're also going to do a Q&A. So as I'm posting these videos, which right now it's like, middle of 2025, but as I'm posting them in real time, if you have questions that you would like to be featured in that Q&A, you can always leave them down below, send me a message. I'm happy to help. Even if you're already booked your trip, if you have certain questions, I'd be happy to answer it in that Q&A show. And then to close it out, you're on your trip, magical time, I'm going to do a bonus video that's about memory keeping that trip. So if you are somebody that is into the planner space and really into documenting, your travels or your memories or using planners and stickers, we'll do some content just about that for you, for those that are interested. Woo! I need a sip of water or something. That is a lot that we're going to cover in this series. But I'm really excited. I hope you guys are as well. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am a travel planner. So let's say you're watching this video right now and you're like, oh girl, Christopher, this is too much. I really don't want to watch any of these. I don't want to do any of this work. Well, guess what? There is an option for you. All you have to do is reach out to me. My email is planyourtruth@gmail.com. I have like a booking link. You could always fill that out if you'd rather do it that way. But get in touch with me. I will book and help plan and help walk you through every step of this process. I know it can be daunting, but it doesn't cost you one extra penny. In fact, I typically save my clients some money, because if you booked on your own, let's say right now you book a trip for 2026, and in 5 months, Disney may come out with a promotion that qualifies for your trip. As your travel agent, I apply that for you before you even wake up and know that there's a promotion out there. So there's so many benefits for you. It doesn't cost you anything to work with me, and it's the best way to help support me, this account, and my business that I'm growing here. So I'd really appreciate it if you are planning your trip to reach out to me. And you can still watch all these videos. If you love the planning process, you can do all the work if you want to. I'm not going to get in your way, but I am here as a resource for you. So send me an email, again, planyourtruth@gmail.com. I'd love to help plan a magical trip for you. If you guys are excited about this YouTube series, though, helping you walk through the process, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed to see those future videos. I will make sure that playlist is linked for you so you can just binge the whole process. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you real soon.